Hey guys, awesome. Welcome to our CME online. The CSEC Material Expert. Also go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification button so you always have all of our content. Let's get into how to pass CSEC multiple choice. All right, awesome. So the agenda is going to be what to do before the exam, how we're going to manage our time, we're going to manage the content, the tools that are available to us, and what are the marks going to be for the multiple choice. What are your rights as a student sitting in multiple choice? All right. Not just about following instructions, but what are also your rights. What to do during the exam, as in the technique that we're going to master. And we're going to do some exercises. And we're going to look at something called examination protocol. Awesome. So let's get right into it. Before the exam, know your time. Paper 1, multiple choice, 60 questions, 90 minutes. Take 15 minutes to check over. All right, 15 minutes to check over. Then you should have, and divided by 60, you should have 1 minute and 15 seconds. But let's not focus too much on this 15 seconds. Let's try to get questions done within 1 minute. Do so, you have the ability to check over. Okay? And the reason why we try to do it in 1 minute is because it's not just simply about working on questions using mathematical principles, it's also about mastering a technique, right? Understanding simple techniques that we have known for many, many years, but to hone it and to more proficient in a situation like this. All right. So, but under no circumstances should you be looking at a multiple choice question for 5, 10, 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes is way too much. So there's a technique that you should we're gonna look at. So that's knowing your time. What about the content? As I said before, the content consists of the whole syllabus, or you would have known, and there are many repeats, okay, of the multiple choice questions, and that's a big part of technique as well. So multiple choice come from any part of the syllabus. That's very important. What are your tools going into the exam? All right, as we know, there is no calculator use to be happening in the multiple choice, and a geometry set not recommended. Okay, even though you have access to a geometry set. But there's a caveat to this. When I say a caveat, even though it's not recommended, there is an idea I want to throw out to you, and you all can see if it makes sense or not, or the geometry set, right? So I'll talk about that. And the formula list, very important, right? Most people don't remember or view the formula list as a tool. It's a tool in the exam. A lot of people ignore or forget, right? Don't forget, that's a super important idea to remember. And as I said, so this is one of the tools. You should get very familiar with your formula list. You don't know it by heart, that's not necessary. It's exams in a few days. Just simply, when you go to the exam center, when you open the paper, make sure and you familiarize. When it's familiarized, don't forget it. Right? It's a very important tool to help you during the exam. Now, there are no calculators. I don't think there's log tables anymore in this. There should be the formula list, and you should be very well acquainted with the formula list. Awesome. What about knowing your marks? The multiple choice is usually 50%, okay, which means about 0.5% per question. Now, this is ordinarily, but this year there is no paper 2. So usually when there's a paper 2, 1, and a paper 3, paper 1 multiple choice will comprise 30% of the marks. In this particular year, I'm not sure whether or not it's going to be 30% or not. Be less, it could be more, right? So there's a bit of a dicey situation this year, but generally, for your multiple choice, the paper 1 is 30% of your overall mark. You understand me so far? Put a 1 in the chat if you're understanding. You guys, awesome. Good job. All right. Awesome, Crystal. How's it going there earlier? Hey, Daniel, what's up? Hey, Jade. Hi, Janessa. Hey, Kaya. What's up, De La Toya? Hey, Kendra. What's up, Rada? Where you going? Hey, Susan. What's good? Hey, Tiana. So let's continue. So know your rights. Right. So know your rights is the rights of a student really is the instructions in the front of the paper, unbeknownst to you, right? It's not marketed as your rights, but this is actually your rights in the paper. And it helps you to function and to understand what CSEC is looking for, right? So every bit of information on the paper, very important. And this is particularly important because it comes first. And yeah, we should examine it now. So it says here, this test consists of 60 items. You'll have 1 hour and 30 minutes to answer them. What does that mean? That basically means that you should manage your time. And we spoke about that a second ago, right? Very important to manage your time. Any questions? Hey guys, awesome. All right, so that's managing your time. And then in addition to the booklet, all right, so in addition to the booklet, you should have an answer sheet. What they mean by that is do not lose focus. When I say do not lose focus, you're looking at the question paper and you're into the question. Sometimes students may have or they may will do is instead of shading the answer in the answer booklet, they will shade in the question booklet. You understand? For example, if the answer is C, they will be so like trying to work out the question. Instead of shading in the answer booklet, we'll circle the answer in the question book. Not get a point for that. Only get points for answers in the answer book, answer sheet. Okay, very super important. And number 3, a list of formulae is provided on page 2 of this booklet. It means use the formula list, especially when you get stuck. Don't be stuck in a question. Sometimes the answer to your question is back in the formula list, right? So be well acquainted and use your formula list as it's there for you. Don't let the exam go by without once looking at it, right? Super important as well. This is your biggest help actually within the exam. Number 4, each item in this test has 4 suggested answers, lettered A, B, C, D. Read each item you are about to answer and decide which choice is the best. This is a very important word. When I say is the best, what do I mean? When I say the best, I mean one that makes the most. That's a very important point, right? Sometimes you may find an answer, 2 answers close to each other, but you have to use your reasoning skills and sometimes your mathematical skills to see which answer makes most sense. So in doing the multiple choice, you are always to look for the best answer among all the others, right? Always remember that. And we'll see how this comes into play as well. 5th instruction is on your answer sheet, find the number which corresponds to your item. So we understand that. And we shade the same letters we use. That is simple item below. Now, this is a simple multiple choice. When you start off with a multiple choice, you have equal chance of getting the correct answer. You'll understand how I got this 25%. Yeah, put a Y in chat if you understand, please. If you don't. Hey guys, awesome. Awesome there, Jonathan. Good stuff there. Vanessa Dutton. Hey Vanessa, no worries. How's it going there? Ayuma. What's up there, Tia? Hey Tyrese. Hey Tyreek, what's up? What's good? All right, good stuff there, Ayuma. Yeah, so I'll go it over one more time. So for any multiple choice, you have an equal chance of getting the correct answer, right? So this 25%, it's because of when you choose one, so it's going to be 1 out of 4. All right, and as we know, 1 out of 4 the same thing as saying 25 cents, right? You're aware of that? A quarter. So 25 cents is a quarter, which is the same as saying 25%. Chances of getting the right answer is equal, which is 25%. What we want to work at in this lesson is how to increase your chances from 25%, right? And one of the things is, if you look closely at this here, we can see 2a plus 6a from one of these answers. Now, anytime, in this case, we are adding, right? So how they got this 12 here, 12e and the 12e squared clearly is like 2 by 6. But we're not multiplying, we're adding. 2 plus 6, we're definitely going to give me 8. All right, so the answer should have 8 in it. So every answer that doesn't have 8, we're going to do is we're going to eliminate. And so if we eliminate 2 answers, now our choices are dwindled. In other words, you have less choices. So if you have less choices, you're more likely to make the correct choice. You understand? So before, when you had all 4 answers, you had 25% choice, right? Equal chance. But using your mathematics skills, you eliminate 2 of them. So instead of having a 1 out of 4 chance, now we have a 1 out of 2 chance, which is these 2 here. So now your chances of getting the correct answer goes up to 50%. Everybody understand that? Put a Y in the chat if you understand what I just said. It's an N if you don't. Enron, awesome there. Maya, what's up there, Jonathan? Good stuff. This is at the heart of what we're about to do today, right? We're going to maximize how we eliminate. You eliminate stuff, you increase your chances. Don't forget that. That's the biggest idea I want you to take away from today. So, which is the answer here? A is 8a, B is 8a squared. Clearly, squared is when you're multiplying, so the answer has to be A. It just is what they said. Right, so on a very important point too, an important sub-point, when you're doing multiple choice, okay, so under no circumstance are you to shade 2 answers. If you shade more than 1 answer, this is going to be wrong. You understand that? Is that clear to everybody? You cannot shade more than 1 answer. There are never more than 1 answers to any multiple choice. There's only 1 answer. So shade 1 answer, you get 1 mark. Shade 2 answers, you get no marks. One shade at all, you get 0 marks as well. Is that clear to you? Awesome there, Leah. How's it going? Right? Let's press on. So what now we're going to look at during the exam. What are we going to do during the exam? The exam technique we're about to look at, right? I want you to master this technique. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the familiar questions first, right? The familiar questions first. Look at those questions first. That's awesome. All right. So this is a very important point here. Next, we're going to look at the REM methodology. So it's really pretty simple. It just sounds complex. The REM, reasoning, elimination, and mathematics, right? How we're going to look at getting straight to the answers to the question. When I say reasoning, I mean taking sensible steps. Right? So I'm taking sensible steps for each multiple choice question that I'm doing. And then after I take some sensible steps, I'm going to use the ideas gleaned from that to get rid of the wrong answer, right? Or the red herring. Once you get rid of the wrong answers, you increase your chances of getting the right answers. You understand that? Is that clear to everyone? Okay. So rid of the wrong answers, then you get closer to the right answer. Then you're going to use your mathematics, which is really the ground rules. Mathematics, so you must know your maths, right? So that's the ground rules for the exercise of multiple choice. And I'll show you how all of these things come in. Now, even though it's written REM, it's not understood to be in this order. What happens is, yeah, that's like a special effect. Right, so what happens is they all form part of an interesting triangle, right? So you can use your reasoning skills to get rid of, hey, Ayoma, no worries. You can use your reasoning skills, eliminate or get rid of some questions. Or you can use your steps reasoning skills and to help you with your mathematical knowledge. Or you can start with your mathematical knowledge and eliminate one time. Start with your mathematical knowledge and derive some sensible steps. You can go either way in the triangle, but the E is at the top. So elimination is the most important. So always strive to eliminate wrong answers continuously. And that will increase your likelihood of getting the answers. And you have to find the balance that's good for you. Everybody will have a different way. Elimination will be at the top. People will start with the reasoning. Some people will start the mathematical, but you should do many questions and develop, customize this triangle. Yours, right? That's an emoji to show that make this triangle yours and use it as you desire. And it's good for any type of multiple choice, mathematics or any other subject, right? And it's even good for life. Sometimes if you eliminate the wrong choice, some of the wrong choices, you get closer to the correct ones. All right, awesome. We're going to look at REM in a specific question. Any questions there? You'll dig in this? You'll go with this? What do you think about this? Yeah. How's that working for you, Sidel? How about you, Tanitia? Hey, Tia, what's good? Hey, Tarek. Hey, Vanessa. Hi, Renal. What's up there, Naomi? Hey, Onyxia. All right. Hey, Janessa. There's no way to tell. All right, that's a good question, but there's no way to tell. Awesome, there, Sidel. All right. So going forward, the importance of one more thing, the importance of reading. Read questions carefully and underline words, such as these words here. These are all doing words. Find, calculate, evaluate, determine, is of, etc. Because it's after these questions, or these words, we'll find out exactly what the question is telling you to do or asking you to do. Okay, so these are very important words that you should underline in an examination situation of the multiple choice. We're trying to find every opportunity to give you an advantage. Everything CSEC writes down, it's geared towards information in the question. And some things are hidden in the question, right? You just have to read it very carefully. Have a pencil one time, so you'll be writing stuff down. Hey guys, awesome. Now then, after we examine the importance of reading, get into an example. Okay, an example 2, such as this one here. There was an example 1 before that, right? Nonetheless. That would have been the one with the front cover of the multiple choice, to be example 2. So the question says, item 53 refers to the following diagram of a circle. Yeah, good stuff there, Giovanni. So if O is the center of the circle, then Y degrees is what? Right? We can apply the REM to this question. First, reading, also reasoning, the center of the circle. Center of the circle is important to remember, right? Because you'll have to know your circle theorems. Yeah, good stuff there, Alison. So your circle theorems will help you in a big way here. But let's say you don't know your circle theorems. How are we going to figure this out? Right, so is, of course, is another doing word. In other words, they wanted, before this word is Y degrees, they wanted to know What is y? All right, so let's check it out. So it's not drawn to scale. So the circle is not drawn to scale. Usually for CSEC, it is never drawn to scale. However, it is drawn to proportion. What does that mean? Hey guys, what about it? So that means the size of y and the size of c, we clearly see who's the bigger one, y or c. Which is the bigger angle between 50 degrees and y degrees? Which is the bigger angle? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Yeah, good job there. Yeah, so c or y, y is the bigger angle, not 50, right? Because it's drawn to proportion. So even though it's not drawn to scale, this is going to be a circle. This is the center of the circle. There's no way you have to, when you have two angles standing on an arc, two angles stand. This is the arc here. Angle in the center is always bigger. In fact, the angle in the center is twice as large the angle at the circumference. That is the theorem. However, if you didn't know that theorem, what you can do is use the knowledge of the fact that it's drawn to proportion and y is bigger than 50. So that's your reasoning skills. Use these reasoning skills, R for reasoning, and eliminate. We're going to eliminate E. I'll be eliminating E. Anybody? Why are we eliminating E? Why is E immediately wrong? You can tell me. Put it in the chat. Hey Maya, good job. Because you can clearly see that 25 degrees, right? 25 degrees is smaller than 50 degrees. So there's no way that E is the answer. When we eliminate one answer, what happens? Our chances of getting the right answer are, now we have a 33% chance. You've seen that? Definitely. It should be twice the amount. Good job there, Susan. So there's a bigger chance now when we eliminate one question, one response. So we go ahead and we apply the rule. The rule is the angle at the center bigger is twice the angle, sorry, and at the circumference, two angles standing on the same arc. You understand that? Two angles here are standing on this arc in the same segment of the circle. So the angle at the center is always twice that of the at the circumference. Hey, Gavita, it's all good. All right, so what you can do for me, I said I was going to throw it out to you. So even though it's not drawn to scale, what you can do is if you have a hard copy of this question, measure this angle here, Y, and measure this angle here, C. Now, C might be some other angle, right? Let's say C will be some angle like, let's say 34 degrees. If it's an actual circle, which is, even though it's not drawn to scale, whatever angle they have here, the angle center should be what? You can tell me. It doesn't matter what angle is at the circumference. If it's 34 degrees, then the angle at the center should be what? Put it in the chat. You think you have the right answer? Hey guys. Yeah, very good. Yeah, not necessarily 180 there, Rajiv, because the rule is the angle at the center is always twice the angle at the circumference. Let's suppose you have a hard copy of this multiple choice. Let's suppose, right? It will be a circle. Let's suppose this is, and this may be the center of the circle. What I want you to do for me, measure this angle. It might not be 50 degrees. It might be some other value. So I'm just saying, let's assume 34 degrees. But if this is a circle, and this is the center of the circle, and let's suppose when you do measure it, this angle is 34 degrees, then this angle at the center is going to be 68 degrees, which is 2 times 34. You'll understand? So those of you who have a hard copy of this, you can check it out. There's no guarantees, but you can check it out to see. But nonetheless, based on the information that we have here, the answer is going to be, we use our mathematical knowledge, M, which is the theorems, and see that the angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference, 2 times 50, which is 100 degrees, which is D. Any questions here? Hey guys, awesome. Awesome there. Hey, Sidel, correct. All right. And with that, let's go on to example 3. The set of 2-digit positive integers that are divisible by 7. Example of what? Right, so right away, we underline 2 digits. And we know to ourselves that there's a limited number of 2-digit numbers, period. Okay? So in the numerical universe, the number of 2-digit numbers, the limited amount of numbers. So instantly, which answer is incorrect? A, B, C, or D? It's going to be, and they exist, right? When I say they exist, I mean we do have positive 2-digit positive integers, and we have a limited number of them. So which 2 answers here can be eliminated? Unnecessarily Latoya. It's going to be good stuff there, Keisha. It's going to be B and C. You'll see that? You'll understand that? And that's a red herring. Yeah? So we know, so don't worry, say Iomo. We know that we have a limited number of 2-digit integers. Check, right? If you count positive integers as well, right? If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 10 is the first 2-digit positive integer. What is the last 2-digit positive integer? 99. You agree with that? You're following me so far? Don't mind that if you're following me. Hey, Tariq, I'll answer that question in a second. Are you following me so far? Yes or no? Put it in chat. The first 2-digit positive integer is 10. The last 2-digit positive integer is 99. Does that make sense, everybody? Yes or no? Yeah, awesome. So we know that there is a limited number of 2-digit integers. If there's a limited number of 2, then it cannot be an infinite set. So this is automatically incorrect. You understand that? Did I catch it? Hey, Angelina, we'll see about that in a second. You're following the logic. And we know, what else do we know? That the 2-digit positive numbers exist. So therefore, it cannot be an empty set, an empty set. So that's also wrong. No worries, Latoya. Before getting to the answers, as I said, always try to work through it logically in your head. Use your reasoning skills. We're using our reasoning skills to get to the answer. When you get to the answer, correct answer, 9 times out of 10. So eliminate B and C, that's called the red herring. The red herring is a distracting answer. Okay, those 2 answers are distracting. So clearly it's not an infinite set and it's not an empty set. So when we eliminate those answers, those responses, what happens to our chances of getting the right answer? What is our chances now? Anybody put it in the chat? What is the likelihood of us getting the correct answer now? What percent? Put it in the chat. Good job there, Mikhail. Anybody else? Good job. All right, so it goes up to 50. You're cool with that? Awesome. Awesome, Angelina. Awesome, Ioma. Hey, Kelsey. It's all good. What's it going there? Samara. Hey, Sarah. What's up there, Tariq? Hey, Al. Right? Now then, if we know the chances are 50%, now we're going to do what CSEC said at the beginning of the instruction. What's the best answer? Let's say we don't know what an improper set is, but we do know what a finite set is, right? A finite is so much unknown. So between A and E, which is the best answer? Remember at the beginning, choose the best answer. So based on your knowledge, right? In general, not even mathematical knowledge, just your general knowledge, which is the best answer between A and E? Who can tell me? Put it in the chat. Awesome. Hey, Angelina, no worries. I see you sticking to your guns. That's good. All right. Hey, Sadell, no worries. Hey, Tariq, no problem. But what I want you to do for me, right? So even if you're not sure, that's a good point. Even if you're not sure, you should give the best answer. You know, what are you sure about? You're sure that a finite set has a limited number of members. Is that true or false? Just in there, Anthony, just in there, Sadell. Do you believe that a finite set has a limited number of members? Yes or no? Yeah. So if we know there are a limited number of two-digit numbers, and I see finite and I see improper, first of all, not many people understand what improper means. I'm going to eliminate, I'm going to between A and E. The best answer for me is the one I'm more sure about. What are you more sure about? Improper set or the finite set? Answer yourself truthfully. Right? So I want to imagine is going to be you're more sure about the finite set. So the answer is actually D. So for those of you who want to know what an improper set is, let me just pull it up. All right, so an improper set is a set whose elements, a set contains all the elements of another set is an improper set. So you're saying the set of two-digit numbers contains all the elements of another set. Well, that's a, no, we don't know what the another set is, so that'll be ambiguous. So A is an ambiguous answer. Also, yeah, so we don't know what the other set will be. That means if A is a set of positive integers, then by saying it's an improper set, you see in set A contains all the elements of another set. What is the first question that will come to you after I tell you that? If I tell you A has all the elements of another set, what is the next question that should come to your mind? Ideas? Right, so the question that should come to your mind, come to my mind is, what is the other set? And no other set was given. This was the only set. This answer is not best answer or the better answer. The better answer is going to be finite set. Is that completely clear to you? The Y chat, if it's totally clear. And if you're not too sure, how's it going there, Rada? Hey, Samar, what's up? What's up there, Chanel? Hey, Therese, what's good? Hi, Vanessa. Up there, Jonathan. Hey, DM. Awesome nickname. What's up, Amoya? Awesome, Vanessa. Yeah, you're cool with everything? That's very important. Remember, at the end of the day, your choice must be use the REM to help you to get your choice, and then choose the best answer. Best answer means answer that is the most sensible or that you are most sure. That's a really good point. Let's just take a pen and put that in. Best answer is the one that you are most sure about. Okay? Do not forget that. Do not choose an answer that is ambiguous. Choose an answer that you're most sure about. Awesome. Hey, Sadell, any questions there? How's it going there, Angelina? Let's get on to example 4. It says for every $100 sales or part thereof, a salesman is paid $10 as commission. If his sales for a particular month were $1,020, how much commission was he paid? All right, right away, a lot of people may say like, okay, $10 out of every $100, you make the idea, but it also says part thereof. So if you say 10%, you get 102. 102 is your wrong answer. Right? So you eliminate it. Why is 102 the wrong answer? Because it didn't say $10 for every $100 only. It also said for part thereof. Not just 10 for every 100. You understand? A lot of people in the exam, you just say, oh, 10 out of 100, that's 10%. So 10% of 1,020. What you sometimes tend to do is carry point back one space to the left, and that's going to be 102. You automatically may think that C is the correct answer. Okay. Any questions there? I myself would have made that error. Yeah, good question there to you. What does part thereof mean? I will answer that question in a second. Okay. So immediately your chances of getting the correct answer goes up to 33%. It was 25%, now it's 30, now it's going to be 33%. What happens is, so now I'm going to apply the mathematics as M. So for $1,020, I'm going to divide it by 100. I realize I have 10.2 $100 bills. So let's go ahead and examine this more closely. There's going to be, somebody asked, what is part thereof? So this is telling me in $1,020, if I divide it by 100, I have 10 $100 bills, right? And point extra, right? Isn't a whole, right? It's 0.2 of $100 bill, which is like what? 0.2 by 100, $20, right? Yeah. So what happens is this here is the $100 bills. I have 10 of them. And this here, I have not a full $100 bill yet. This is part thereof. Okay, is that clear to everybody? Put a 1 in the chat if you're understanding. And if you're not, does that make sense to you there? You? Okay, so let's check it again. So how do I know? It says for every $100 bill, he gets $10 commission. So if he gets paid, if a particular month he makes 1,020, when he gets paid $10 for every $100 bill, I want to find out how many $100 bills are there in $1,020, right? Now, if I can go ahead and throw it out. This is one $100 bill. Let's say in Trinidad, $100 bills are right. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's going to be here, and 10. These are 10 $100 bills, and the other bill is another fully $100 bill. The other bill is like a $20, right? So what I'm saying here to you, yeah, I'll get to that in a second, like Kaya. What I'm saying here to you is that this is $100. Each of these big rectangles is $100 bill. So I have 10 of them. And this is only part of $100 bill. Okay, so this is like, which is the 0.2 here. So this is the part thereof. So he's going to get $10 here, $10 here, $10 all the way up to the last one. But he also going to get commission for part of it. There's $10 here. Understood? Is that clear to you? One if that's clear to you, plus an N if it's not clear to you. Right? Catch it? Awesome. Good job there. All right. Hey, Kaya, you said we're going to eliminate. Yeah. Why are we eliminating? Awesome there, Ayoma. All right. So why are we eliminating C? Let's check it out. Yeah, because C is the obvious choice that people may think, but it's incorrect. You might say 10, you might see 10 and see 100 and think 10%. Hey, Elia, no worries. People might see $10. People might see $10 here and $100 in sales and thinking 10% is its commission. And that's actually popular commission rate as well, right? And you may find 10% of 1,020, and 10% of 1,020 is $102. Okay, and immediately you'll go to C, but that's incorrect because it doesn't say $10 for every $100 only. It says also part thereof, and as we just saw, there's an extra part. Okay, and in that case, it's going to be 10.2. If you can split it up, it'll be 10 by 10. That's for the $100 bill, and another $10 for the extra, which is part of 100. So when you add this up here, it's going to be $110. So the correct answer is going to be D. Any questions? You're cool with that? Put a line in chat if you're following. Hey guys, awesome. Hey Kaya, no worries. All right. So the only way, no worries there, Rajiv. Only way you'll get C is if it's going to be 10%, right? So as I said before, that only happens if you get like 10%. Let's just go ahead and one more time. Not only 10%. Yeah, so what I was saying is for each $100 bill, it's $10, right? For each $100 bill in 1,020, that's $10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go with the 10, right? Let's take it to the 10 here. Okay, so you get $10 here, $10 here, and since there are 10 $100 bills, right? He gets $100 for the 10 $100 bill, but he doesn't make he doesn't make only 10 $100 bills, right? Also makes $20, which is the 0.2. So he will get $10 for this amount as well, as they say part thereof. That's what's it's kind of confusing. Part thereof. So he's going to get a commission for any part of $100 that you make. He made $100. Sorry, he made 10 $100. So he's going to get $10 for each of those $100. But even if you make part of $100, you're going to get $10 for that too, because the commission is not 10%. It's $10 for every $100, but also $10 for any part of $100. Does Is that clear to you, Rajiv? What about you, Kaya? Does that make sense? How about you, Rajiv? Make sense to you? Yes, no, put it in the chat. All right. Awesome. No worries. So the answer should be, right? So you can go ahead and review the record. Right. So let's look at this question. Item 31 refers to the following diagram, which shows a cylinder with diameter 6 centimeters and height 20 centimeters. So the easiest red herring here, the biggest error you can make here will be, let's see, 6 by 2 is 120. 6 by 20 is 120. So therefore, B is the red herring, so you eliminate B. Questions? Right? But this is not how you find the volume. This is not how you find the volume of a cylinder. What you have to do is, with the elimination, the chances go up by 33%. Right? So we're going to find the volume of a cylinder. And in that case, go to the toolbox, our formula list at the beginning of the formula list here. And this is the volume of a cylinder. That's the formula. All right, any questions? And in this case, it's going to be E is equal to pi r squared h. And r is going to be the radius. So it's going to be pi by 3 squared by 20, which is 180 pi. So the answer is C. Any questions here? Put a 1 in the chat if you're following. Hey guys, awesome. Right, so it's your turn. All right, everybody try this question and let me put the answers in the chat. Awesome, Aliyah. So I'm going to give you exactly 1 minute. Starting now, try this question, and when you're finished, put the answers in the chat. Awesome. Hey guys, awesome. Right, so I got B's, D's, etc. Okay, mostly B's. Let's check the answers, right? It says here, item 55 refers to the following diagram, which shows rectangle WXYZ, which is this triangle here, and its image W prime, X prime, Y prime, Z prime, and W double prime, X double prime, Y double prime, Z double prime, after it undergoes a composite double transformation. Always underline important words, right? Double. What does double mean? There are two transformations. Okay, so let's look at the cases that we have. So question says, what sequence of transformations will map rectangle WXYZ onto its image triangle W double prime, X double prime, Y double prime, and Z double prime? Let's go up to the triangle and check it out. Rectangle. You can clearly see that we're starting here. We're jumping over here first, right? And finally, we're coming here. Now, this is a type of question that people may spend 5 to 10 minutes on working out in detail, right? But if you're a little more observant, what do you notice? You will notice that distance from here to here is exactly the same distance as from here to here. You will see now. What does that tell you about this? What's happening here? Distance before the y-axis is 2 blocks. All right. Same distance after the y-axis, another 2 blocks. What type of transformation does that? Who can tell me? Yeah, this reflection is involved. Very good. And which question here has a reflection? Sorry, which response has a reflection? The only one that has a response is what? Or has that reflection in it is what? B. Well, see now? Other people may go ahead and work out. They may go ahead and take this coordinates of this is 2, whatever, 2, 1, 2, 2, and then work this out. And then from here to here, it's because it's here half here, they go ahead and take a half of this and come this way and stuff like that, right? A lot of drama. But if you're a bit observant, you realize a reflection is involved, and the only one that has a reflection is B. Eliminate this one, no reflection. You see any reflection there? What about C? A reflection in C? There's no reflection in C. What about D? The reflection in D? No. All right, which means B is the correct answer. So in this question, we eliminated all the wrong options and we got 100% correct just by elimination. Do you all understand this? You're following this? Put a 1 in chat. How many people put B at first? All right, a lot of people, some people put A's, B. Good job there, Susan. Some people put B question mark. There's no space for question marks. Hey, Vanessa, does that make sense to you? How about you, Mikhail? How about you, Onyxia? That makes sense to you? How about you, Tunisia? What do you think? Yeah? So embrace the power of elimination. It is very, it helps a lot in examination. Yeah, do you understand it, not Davita? Awesome. With that, let's give you some more tips as well. So this example here, find x if 3x plus 2 equals 14. One thing, find, don't forget to write it underline. Read the question carefully. I cannot stress that enough. It is very important before you jump at the answer, right? Ignore the urge to jump at the answer. Read the question carefully. Those that you're not familiar with. You can also use your math to help you. That's one way. That's a great way. Also, eliminate the red herring. Eliminate the red herring. Which one is definitely going to be the red herring in this case? Who can tell me? A, B, C, or D? Remove 5. That's not sure what that means. I think the obvious red herring is going to be B. It's such a large number, right? If you put this back into here. So a red herring is the distracting answer. Usually the distracting answer, right? That is totally incorrect. I think the fact is incorrect. So that's one, that's another method. But there's one more tip I want to tell you about. Use the responses, E to D. In other words, place X with 5 and see if you get 14. We already eliminated this one. You place X with 4. Place X with 7 and see if you get 14. All right. One of the ways, if you're stuck in the question, besides going back to the front cover where there's the formula list, and also use the responses. Use the responses, put it back into the question, and see if you get the answer that the question is giving. You don't understand that? So when you if you understand that, listen, and if you don't. Hey guys, awesome. Yeah, you could make X subject and stuff, right? But what we're trying to do is use your reasoning skills is the highest skill above your mathematical skills in multiple choice. Because what we don't have in mathematics in paper 1 is time. Paper 2, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. Paper 1 is 1 hour and 30 minutes. So the time is drastically reduced in multiple choice because the answer that you want is facing you already. So it is not necessary Yes, you have to understand the mathematics. You have to understand and hone your technique of elimination. And you do that through your reasoning skills. You understand where I'm coming from with this? Yeah? Hey, Latoya, no worries. I'm saying with the multiple choice, a primary mathematical skill, if you will, is your reasoning capabilities, not so much your skills at calculating and making X subject in this case, right? You can do that. But primarily what you're trying to bring to the fore or the forefront, your ability to eliminate the wrong answer. Every time you eliminate the wrong answer, you increase your chances of getting to the right answer. And that's very, very important, right? So in that case, the multiple choice is a test, not necessarily of your mathematical skill, like calculative skill. It's a test of your reasoning ability in general and your power to use your reasoning to eliminate the wrong answers. Does that make sense? Awesome. Somebody said they got B. Okay, no worries. So so let me just work it out the traditional way and see if you'll follow me, right? So if 3x, go ahead and increase the font size. So it's going to be if 3x, then 3x is going to be equal to 14 minus 2. So 3x is going to be equal to 12. X is going to be equal to 12 over 3. Okay, any questions here? Are you all cool with this? Let me know. Yeah, good job, good job. Yeah, that's another way there, Angeline. Very good. You can see, replace the x with 4. Okay, like I did it here. Yeah, did it here. I will assume it is not enough room, but you could do that. Replace the x with 4. I would say 3 into x into 4 is going to be equal to 14. Well, 3 4s are 12. Is x is 4. Right? So I want you to remember this tip as well. Use the responses, put it back into the question, and see if it generates some value that the question already has. All right, that's another good tip with multiple choice if you're stuck. All right, awesome. With that, let's go ahead and take a 3-minute break, and then we'll come right back. Awesome. Hey, everybody, welcome back. So we're gonna do some exercises. Hey, Vanessa, awesome. No worries. Yeah, it's all good there, Amari. All right, so let's look at this question here. We'll be doing some exercises from the actual exam papers, right? What is the value of digit 2 in the number 48.621? Go ahead and put the answers, everybody. All right, so it's definitely going to be E. That's pretty much straightforward. Not much thinking there, but just to be on the safe side, what is the wrong answers? What are the wrong answers? Clearly, the wrong answers are going to be anything that is not fraction. You understand that? Immediately, C and D will be wrong. Means you're gonna get 50% increase in your getting the right answer. Yeah. Hey Amari, so this exercise was really meant to push forward that elimination technique. And besides getting to the answer, again, It's not necessarily getting to the answer. It's about sharpening your power of eliminating the wrong answer. And you will see you get to the right answer immediately. Awesome, Susan. What is the percentage of, what percentage of 50 is 10? What does that mean? Now, I've seen this worked out. It was a lot of working. Percentage of 50 is 10. What we do know is 10 is not more than 50, right? So you cannot, percentage of 10 of 50 and cannot be 150%. This means that 10 is more than 50. Immediately, D, wrong. So your chances of getting the right answer are now 33%. It was 25%, but it's now 33%. Understand? So there's a long method, right, that people employ to work this out. But I just give you the method is over of by 100. Has anybody ever seen this method before? What I mean by is over of by 100. I mean, hey, Angeline, not quite. It's going to be the number that comes after is. What number comes after is? 10. 10 is on top. What number comes after of? 50. 50 is below. Times 100 over 1. Okay, and that's it. That should give you 20%. Have you all ever seen this before? So it is over of multiplied by 100 over 1. Remember that? The number that comes after is 10. So you put that on top. The number that comes after of is 50. You put that below. Yeah, good job there, Amari. Any questions? So I've seen x over 100. 10 over 50. This is another method, right? But don't do this. This will take you forever. Remember, one of the biggest things about multiple choice is honing your time. Time is very important. Yeah, excellent there, Tanitia. All right, so you all can forgive me if I'm not calling your names correctly, right? All right, awesome. Let's look at question number 3. In standard notation, 0.02086 is written as, but in this case, you can't necessarily eliminate because it's either you know it or you don't. So there's some failure cases to elimination as well. One thing CSEC usually does, right? This is a standard that, yeah. But one thing CSEC usually does is, what they tend to do is the two answers that are, one answer is going to be correct, the other answer is not going to be so correct. They'll put the opposites of each other. So I'm seeing 2.0806, 2.0806 by 10 to the 2, and 2.0806 by 10 to the minus 2. Right? So chances are it's one of these. That usually happens. But also, if you look carefully, you can still eliminate because of 20.806, right? The number, even though it's written in standard form, should be the same value. All right. Questions here? Awesome. Hey guys, awesome. Hey C, hey O. I've just begun to speak, no worries. All right, so definitely we can eliminate part B, and one of these two. So here's how we do it. For standard form or for scientific notation, as it's sometimes called, the point is moved until it is on the right side of a non-zero digit. I'm going to remove this point. 1, 2. So it becomes 2.08 by 10 to the power of 2. Okay, now then, since we moved it, it's not going to remain like this, right? Since we moved it to the right, it's not going to be 2, it's going to be -2. So 2.086 by 10 to the power of -2. The answer is going to be C. Right? And if you look carefully, D is also wrong, because for standard form or for scientific notation, you must always have you cannot have 0 here. Right? You cannot have 0. So we can still eliminate D. So when you think you can't eliminate a question, as I've just shown, there's always room for elimination. So let that be your maxim going into the exam. Right? It's a good maxim to have. There is always room for elimination. You eliminate your wrong choices. When you eliminate your wrong choices, you get closest to your correct choices. Hey, Susan, the numbers have a 0 after 8. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Thanks so much. All right. So the answer here is going to be not A and not. So B is clearly eliminated because of the 20, and D for sure, because standard notation cannot have a 0 in front here. It must be a non-zero digit left-hand side of the decimal point. All right, awesome. So in that case, just to be thorough, we use some mathematical skills to eliminate this one. And we use some reasoning skills to eliminate this one, because it's not the same value. So it's either this one or this one. So your chance went up by 50%, right? Now in the exam, do not put the numbers by 50%, 50%, etc. That will just waste time. Just know you try to eliminate as much as possible, and maybe after you come out the exam. All right, awesome. Let's continue. So in a school, the ratio of the number of pupils to the number of teachers is 20:1. If the number of pupils is 840, how many teachers are there? Immediately, what is your wrong answer? Before we get to the correct answer, Kaya, what's your wrong answer? What do we know? Show us your wrong answer. Anybody? How's it going there? Hey, Caleb. What's going to be the wrong answer immediately? It's going to be C and D. Yeah. I'm leaning towards D for sure, right? Because D is telling me the number of pupils equals the number of teachers, right? That's totally incorrect. And that's not augur well for real life. And we can also assume that C is incorrect. Okay, because it doesn't fit the ratio either, right? Not by a long term, right? But you see that that's not the ratio. This means for every one teacher, we had 20. Sorry, for every one teacher, we had 20 students. Okay, so how many teachers are there if there are 840? What happens is the ratio must be maintained. So the 840 students, and how many teachers are there? What we can do, as I said before, we can use the answers to get to the answer. Right? So we can use 4 and see if we get 20:1. Divide both sides by 40 and see what we get. Right? So I get, when I divide this by 40, Divide this by 40. Cancel this, cancel 40. So it's 1.40. 21, 40. 21 to 1. By process of elimination, which is the correct answer? B is the correct answer, right? You understand that? So the elimination process speeds up the time I get in the correct answer. Awesome. Let's continue. Question number 5. A bag of apples can be shared equally among either 6, 10, or 15 children. Minimum number of apples that is likely to be in the bag is what? So underline the important words, minimum. In other words, 6, 10, and 15 have to go into each of these here. So in this case, we can use the answers to get the correct solution, right? So what is immediately wrong? Immediately wrong. What is the answer that's immediately wrong? It's going to be 31. 6 can go into 31, 10 can go into 31, 15 can go into 31. You see that? Hey, Susan, 10 can go into 90. So D is not immediately wrong, but clearly what is immediately wrong is going to be B, right? None of these numbers here can go to 31. Now, 6 can go into 60, can go into 10 can go into 60, and 15 can go into 60. Also 30, right? We not even begin to consider 90 because we already realize that all these three numbers can go into 60 and all these three numbers can go into 30. What is the operative word here? You can tell me, what is the major word here? The major word in this case is what? You can tell me, put it in the chat. The stuff there, Tanisha, Awesome, Kaya, minimum. So the answer is E. Now, it is the LCM, and you could put 6. Go ahead and put 6, 10, and 15 here. And go into this. And it's a long process, right? That would take you upwards of 3 to 4 minutes. So we're not getting to that because you'll cross our 1 minute threshold. At all times, try to stay within the 1 minute threshold. All right? Any questions there? Awesome. Let's continue. Let's see what we have here. If 4.3 by 0.37 is equal to 1.591, then 4.3 by 0.37 is what? Which is the obviously wrong answer here? It's going to be D. So D immediately, right? 3 by 0.37 cannot be 1,550, right? This is an easy question. So don't get it incorrect. Again, 43 by 0.37, you will not get into the hundreds with this. You'll see now? Yes or no? This is 159. You realize that 159.1, you will not get into the hundreds if you multiply 43 by 0.37. You will not see now. Yeah, does that make sense? Hey, Thais. Hey, South. This is January 2023. So this is incorrect. Also, this is incorrect, right? Because we have the same answer here. And it was 43 and not 4.3. Hence B is the correct answer. Any questions here? So we definitely went under the minute there. What you should not do is this. 0.37, then multiply. You may get confused with the decimal points. Right? Always, in this case, we eliminated the reasoning skills and eliminated, and it was under 1 minute. Good job there. Let's press on. Any questions here? Are we cool with this? How you feel about this, rather? How's it going there, John? Hey, Q. Hey, Susan. What's up? Awesome. Let's continue. Which of the following sets is defined by this? What's this question say? Hey, C. Hey, Q, sorry. The answer for number 6 is going to be B, not C. All right? So let me just back up to question number 6. As I said before, right? if I take 43 by 0.37, I will not get into the hundreds here. Can you see that? Yeah, because this is a fraction. If I take 43 and multiply by 0.37, go to the calculator now and check it, right? Not in the exam. You're not going to get 159.1. And you can see that from this. You get something less than 43. Okay? Awesome. So back to question number 7. It's going to be, which of the following sets is defined by x belongs to z such that x is between 4 and -2, right? So how are we going to talk about this? How are we going to interpret this and call this out, form this out? An English sentence, right? Because right now this is a mathematical sentence. So this is how they do it. This is the curly brackets means the set of, right? Anytime you have curly brackets, I mean set of. Not quite curly. That's, yeah. Awesome. So this means the set of all x's. This x means all x's, right? The set of all x's, and this is belonging. Okay? Belonging to z. What does z represent? It represents the integers. The set of all x's belonging to integers, or the set of integers. And this colon here, what does this colon mean? Anybody? That colon means such that. Such that, and you jump to this x, such that x is less than or equal to 4 and greater than or equal to -2. That's how you sum up this entire mathematical sentence, right? Set of all x's belonging to the set of integers such that the x less than or equal to 4 and greater than or equal to -2. In other words, x is between 4 and -2 inclusive. You understand that? So based on that, which is the correct answer? Hey Susan, I think you had the correct answer, which is automatically the correct answer. It's going to be D. Now you can eliminate. In that case, you're going to eliminate A, eliminate B, you're going to eliminate, right? Because you're supposed to have -2, you're supposed to end with 4, right? And in this case, this elimination gives us 100% correct answer, right? Elimination is the way to go. And it's under a minute as well. Continue. This question here, it says, item 8 refers to the Venn diagram which shows two intersecting sets, P and Q. In the Venn diagram, the number of elements in P equals 5, the number of elements in Q equals 9, the number of elements in P union Q equals 10. The number of elements in the shaded region of the Venn diagram is 1. Okay, so this is a simple exercise. So one equation that I would recommend that you'll remember. The sets, because there's going to be a big sets question in the exam. Many sets questions, sorry. And you should remember this equation. The number of elements in P and Q is the number of elements in P plus the number of elements in Q minus the number of elements in union Q. Okay? That's it. If you substitute for this equation, you will see this clearly. What are you going to get? N of P is 5 plus N of Q is 9 minus N of P union Q is 10. It's going to be 15, take away 10 equals 4. The answer is going to be This is one instance. You can use your reasoning skills to figure it out. However, sets the reasonings are a bit cloudy, right? If you unsure what you're doing. This thing to remember the equation here. And you should get the right answer every time. Hey Thais, you can hear me? Let me know if you all hear me. So just to repeat the reasonings for the sets questions, you can still do them, but for this particular question, don't forget this equation here. It comes in very handy. The answer here in this case is going to be B. Awesome. Let's continue. Any questions here? Are you all cool with this? Awesome, rather. Question 9 also sets questions. So I'm doing a lot of sets questions because that was not in paper 2. It's definitely going to be in paper 1, 100%. Hey, Thais, what I said was this question here, you should remember the sets equation. And this sets equation help you to get the right answer. Okay? Very good, awesome. Right, so the N of P tells me N of P is 5, N of Q is 9, take away N of P union Q is 10. So I'm going to substitute each of these. 5, 9 here, 10 here, add them, take them away, and the answer is B. Right? It's as simple as that. How do you feel about that, Thais? Awesome. Now then, let's go on to question number 9. What does it say? Which of the following pairs of sets is an example of disjoint sets? Example of disjoint sets. As the name implies, disjoint sets have nothing in common. Okay? Let's look at part E. Even numbers and odd numbers, do they have any members that are the same? No. Right? So this appears to be a disjoint set, but we can never tell. Be on the safe side. Multiples of 2 and multiples of 3 are the disjoint sets. Remember, a disjoint set are two sets that do not have any common elements. Okay? So is that true for part B? What are the multiples of 2? Easy. Multiples of 2 are 2 times tables. What are the multiples of 3? Also easy. Multiples of 3 are your 3 times tables. Do you see numbers in your 2 times tables also appear in your 3 times tables? Anybody? You heard the question? Do you see numbers that are in the 2 times tables that appear also in the 3 times tables? Yes or no? Yeah? If you do, then this is not an example of disjoint sets. So he's wrong. What about C? Whole numbers, X equals the set of whole numbers and Y is irrational numbers. Not irrational, right? Rational. What are whole numbers? Let's say 7 is a whole number. And what is a rational number? I can represent 7 as a fraction, which is a rational number, right? 7 over 1. So some numbers that are whole numbers can be represented, all numbers that are whole numbers can be represented as a fraction. So which means to say the set of whole numbers is actually inside the set of rational numbers. This is completely wrong. So they're not disjoint sets. You're following so far. How you feel about that? The stuff there, Thais, the stuff there, Latoya. What about part D? Multiples of 5 and multiples of 10. Are you all feeling the multiples of 5 and 10? Yeah, right? Can't be disjoint. Remember your 5 timetables. Remember your 10 timetables. There are numbers in your 5 timetables that are also in your 10 timetables, right? So this also seems to be incorrect. Seems as if they are, but A is the correct answer. But let's go double check. Even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, etc. What are odd numbers? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. Right? So it makes sense. There is no number can be even and odd at the same time. Clearly, A is the winner. Correct answer. Right? Questions here? Awesome. Let's continue. Let's look at question number 10. All students in a class play Scrabble and or checkers or both. If 36% of the students play Scrabble only and 16% of the students play both Scrabble and checkers, what percentage of students play checkers but not Scrabble? Right? A good thing for sets, don't forget, it's good thing to draw circles. So they say that all students play stuff. So 36% play Scrabble only. That's S for Scrabble, C for checkers, 36 play Scrabble only, and 16% play both Scrabble and checkers. Percent plays checkers only. So the operative word here is what? Operative word here is that is out of 100. 36 plays Scrabble only, 16% plays Scrabble and checkers. The remainder is going to play checkers only. So when you add 36 at 16, you're going to get what? And put it in chat. At 16 is going to give me 52. And then 52 from 100 is going to give me 48. The answer there is going to be B. Okay? Any questions here? So the elimination, we can definitely eliminate when we realize the number doesn't add up to 100. All right? And they said every student, all the students play. So there are no students that don't play Scrabble or checkers. So if you 36 plus 16 and you add it to 12, you will not get 100. You get more than 100. And you add 64, you're going to get even more. So the correct answer is going to be B. Any questions here? Hey, Thais, no worries. So what they're saying here is that this is the set, universal set here, and they say every student, you know where it is, every student play either Scrabble or checkers or both. Now it says here, it gives everything in percentages. So this is a trick. This percentage actually means you can actually assume that there are 100 students in the class. You understand that? It's a simple trick that CSEC will use from time to time. Assume that there are 100 students in the class. 36 students out of 100 will play Scrabble only. 10 students out of 100 will play Scrabble and checkers. So what percentage of students will play checkers only? So what you have to do is, say 36, it's me, students. And so far their ties, what you have now, 36 plus 16 is going to be 52 students. Making sense so far? What you think? Was it going there earlier? That makes sense to you? No. So the trick is, as I said, assume there are 100 students in the class. Didn't say that. It said percentage wise, but that's allowable to make the question global. Hey, Ioma, not so much though, right? So 36 plus 6 is 12. Then 32 here, and then 3 plus 1 is 4, and 1 is 5, right? So all together in this section here, I have 52 students. Let's see now. Yeah. But there are more students. And they said everybody plays something. So there's nobody out here, right? There are 0 students out here. Right? So to put 0 more than 1, sorry. Right? Just once is enough. So it means to say, how are we going to get the remainder here? It must add up to 100. 56 at 16 is going to be 52. 52 from 100 is 48. All right. Any questions here? Go cool with this. How's it hanging there? What's up there, Chanel? Hey, Shania, what's good? Hey, Tanisha, what's up? Hey, Tariq. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Zamari. Hey, Akel, what's good? Hi, Kaim. What's up there, Kaya? Hey, Giovanni. What's up there, Faith? Awesome. Thais. Now then, that's the answer for question number 10. The elimination method again will be used if you made this assumption. You add 36 and 16, add it to any one of these, you eliminate them, and you can end up with 48. Or you can use the answers to get the answers, or use the responses to get the answers. Take these responses, add it to 36 and 16, and you should get 100, right? This was drawn to make sure you understand it more. The set questions, it's a good idea to draw in the Venn diagrams as well, right? That will help you visualize what's happening. Awesome. Let's continue. Now, the set question. Item 11 refers to the following Venn diagram, which shows intersecting sets. The number of students in each set is indicated. So it says in the Venn diagram, U equals the set of students who play games. H equals the set of students who play hockey. V equals the set of students who play volleyball. How many students play either hockey or volleyball, but not both? What does that mean? But not both. So first of all, you can eliminate here. What's the easiest thing to eliminate? Well, you can eliminate it, but it's not part of the answers. You can eliminate this because this tells me the number of students who play. This tells me the number of students who play what? Neither hockey nor volleyball. But none of those 2 or 3 are here. You'll see that. So they said either hockey or volleyball, but not both. Well, a good assumption to make is that 5 play hockey alone, 4 play volleyball alone. But these students here, these numbers won't play both hockey and volleyball. So when they say either or, they mean to add. Right? A bit of M for mathematical knowledge. Understand that, right? So either or means to add. Hockey at 5, volleyball at 4. When you add 5 with 4, you should get 9. So the answer is C. Any questions here? You can definitely eliminate D because you say 5 plus 2 is 7 and 4 is 11. This is not what they're asking for. How many? That would be how many students who play hockey or volleyball or both, right? This one, which is incorrect. They say hockey or volleyball, but not both, right? You should have underlined the not, but you underline it. Any questions there? Yeah, good job there, Susan. How's it going there, Leah? Hey, Faith, what's up there? Donica. Hey, Crystal, what's good? Hey, Kaya. Awesome. Let's continue. Right. Another set question. The set of 2-digit positive integers, which we did already, right? We need to rehash it and see here is definitely going to be D. Also, the answer for this one is going to be what? Well, we got to be D, right? Yeah. Well, cool with this. We did this in the examples. I took the examples from January, paper 1, 2023. All right. Awesome. Great job there, Ayoma. So in this question here, it says the simple interest on $600 for T years at 5% per annum is $120. The value of T. Well, T is going to be stuff in years, right? It has to be years. Okay, Hebrew, yeah. No, 13 is actually C. It's actually D, sorry, not C. All right. And earlier in the video, I explained that. So no worries, when I upload the video, you will see how I came up with my answer. All right. So let's check this question out real quick. T, you have to find T here, which is the number of years it will take for you to get $120. Now, if you work this part out here, you clearly see you can clearly see this zero cancel with a zero at like 30. 6 by 5 is 30. By 12 by 120 be over 1,000 years, right? Which doesn't make any sense. Okay, so the answer certainly cannot be D. You all seen this? 6 by 5 will give me 30, and 30 by 120. It's going to be a large number, like 3,600 years. And that's not logical when it comes to you want to make $20 interest after being 3,600 years, right? So that's kind of silly. We can eliminate D, even without going through the simple interest formula, right? E is the same idea. This zero cancel with this zero, cancel this. And 6 into 6 is 1, 6 into 12 is 2, 6 into 0 is 0. By 5 is 100 years. Remember, we want to find the value of T, the number of years it will take to get a simple interest of $120, right? And number is going to be the 100 years for that. It's 1 to 100. That's an easy way to eliminate the answers if you're not sure how to manipulate the equation, right? Because this equation is not as popular as the other one. Now then, that brings us to the answers of A or B. So it's good to work out things like that, so you get the a gauge of where you're going. So we can do the same thing for part A, for part B. So with it out, 6 into 12 is 2. 6 into 6 into 6, 1. And 6 into 12 is 2. 6 into 0 is 0. I put 20 over 5, which gives me 4. 4 years is going to come here. And we work this out too. These zeros cancel. 6 by 5 is 30. 420. Which gives me a quarter. Between a quarter and 4 years, which is the best answer? A or B? In the chat, let me know. Yeah. Hey, Vanessa. All right. So a quarter is not even, yeah. So I would wager that B is the better answer, right? Let's look at some people are second guessing. Let's look at how we can use the formula in order to get the answer. So the formula is going to be 100. If you're not finding simple interest, use this formula. 100I or P times R times T. Okay. So no worries. So if you want to find T, what you do is, this is I here, and down here, let me go ahead and erase that T. Down here is going to be here. Match the question. The question has a common T, so I'm going to put a common T here, right? So what you do is, if you want to find what any one of these are, what you're going to do is you're going to put your finger over the one that you want to find. Okay? And the rest of the question, or the rest of the triangle, gives you the formula. So right? Well, it's supposed to be E is equal to 100I all over times R. Questions here? Hey Hebrew, let's check it out, right? So this is the formula that you use if you want to find anything, if you want to find the principal, the rate, or the time. Remember, it's simple interest. All right, so you can use this triangle. This is a very helpful, useful triangle to use if you want to find the principal, the rate, or the time. And the other formula is to find the simple interest. So if you use this formula here, it'll be 100 times I, which is what? I is the simple interest, which is 120, all over principal, which is 600, by the rate. What is the rate? 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and erase on this side. Which one, A or B, matches this one? Put it in the chat. Which of A or B matches this result here? Awesome. How about you, Hebrew? What do you think? Yeah? So B is the answer. And again, when we had it a second ago, thought a quarter years here and 4 years. Again, which is the best answer or the better answer? 4 years is a better answer than a quarter. All right? As far as simple interest goes, as far as interest in a bank goes, you should probably 4 years to get that interest anyways. Okay? Awesome. So don't forget your reasoning skills. So your reasoning skills based on your life experience as well, right? But in mathematics, you can gain some type of semblance of that by doing many multiple choice questions. Awesome. Let's continue. Question number 15. It says, at the bank, EC $2.60 is equivalent to $1 for every $1 exchanged. 10 US cents is deducted at it, an exchange tax, as an exchange tax, sorry. How many EC dollars will Leon receive if he exchanges 1,000 US? Again, I will say, there's somebody's name, you can scratch out your name and put out of that name and put your name. It analyzes the question, right? And it may help you to understand the question better. Imagine if you're the person, and you have 1,000 US, and you're gonna, the rate of exchange is $1 gonna be equal to 2.6 EC. You all seen that? However, there's an exchange tax. Will you get your full amount? Anybody? If you change $1,000 into EC dollars, would you get your full amount of money, or you get that money less some tax? In the chat, yes or no? Yeah, good stuff there, rather. All right, you will get money less whatever tax it is. So if I take 1,000 US, right, that's 1,000 times 0.6, the rate of exchange. I'm going from a bigger currency to a smaller currency, right? So it's going to be 2,600. Automatically, which answer is the wrong answer? Going to be, you'll see now, which answer looks unreasonable as well? Anybody? Which answer looks way too small for correct answer? Right? A rational guess will be A. Yeah, a rational guess, right? So right away, you add 50% is either one of these two. If 2,600 is going to be the money you're supposed to receive, but there's a tax. What is the tax? Tax is 0.1 or 10 cents EC for every $1. In other words, tax is going to be 0.1, 0.1, 1,000 equal to what? $100, right? So 100 EC dollars is going to be the tax. So the money that you're going to get is going to be equal to $100. Okay, $100, which is going to be $2,500. You've seen that? Answer is going to be yeah, awesome. Good stuff there, Thais. Good job. Right, any questions here? Let's continue. We have 5 more questions like these, and then we have some notable mentions, right? One, a man pays 6 cents for every 200 meter cube of gas and plus a fixed charge. If he pays $178.75 when he uses 55,000 meters cube of gas, how much is the fixed charge? Okay, so the first thing you're gonna figure out is is 178.75. You can say 55,000. We're gonna use our mathematical skills. Divided by 200. That's gonna be what? 1. 5 is 2, remainder 1. 2 to 15 is 7, remainder 1. 2 to 10 is 5. Okay, so I get 275. That tells me how much 200 meter cube units of gas there is in 55,000. You'll follow me with this so far. You'll understand why I divided by 200. Okay, so I have 55,000 meter cube of gas, and for every 200, I'm being charged. Yeah, I take the 55,000 divided by 200, so I get 275 units of 200 meter cube of gas, right? In other words, 275 units, and each unit is going to be 200 meter cube of gas, right? That's a more succinct explanation. Now, each unit of gas, I'm paying 60 cents. 275 by, don't use the, yeah, use it as 0.6, right? $0.6, because everything is in dollars, right? So multiplied normally, you'll get 165. Right, $165. So much money you're going to pay for gas, except that what? They didn't ask you for this amount of money, right? What are they asking for? Fixed charge. So right away, you can eliminate D. Okay? Some people multiply 275 by 0.6 and get 165, and then that's the answer. In fact, you're not even paying 165. You're paying 165 plus some tax. Hey, Kelsey, it's all good. Kind of funny. All right, so it's $165 is what you are going to pay ordinarily. However, they said that you're paying $178 and 75 cents. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that $178, okay, and subtract 165 from it. Hey, Elia, how's it going? Let me know. When you do that, what answer do you get? 70.75, take away 165 will give me 1375. Right, so the answer should be E. You're cool with that? You'll feel about that? Answer is definitely going to be. Right, so we can't get away from the working to some questions, right? But our goal is to have a proper balance. But some of them we definitely can. We master this technique along with the familiar questions I talked about before. They've been a very good start for the multiple choice. Awesome. New. Question 18. A plot of land presently is valued at $12,000, appreciates in value at the rate of 2.5% per annum. What will be the value of the plot of land in 1 year? So what answers are totally wrong? Anybody see the answers that are wrong? In this case, we don't need to work out a thing. What answers are totally wrong? Put it in the chat. Hey, Ty, it's not quite. Very good there, Kaya. A, B, and C are immediately wrong. Can you all see that? Another color. Because land always appreciates. But apart from that, they said the land is appreciating. What does appreciating mean? This question was not designed for you to work it out. And was to test your ability to know the mathematics terminology. Okay. This means more or less, increasing the job, awesome higher, right? So immediately, correct answer is going to be, right? Awesome. Any questions? Good job there, Thais. Continue. Number 19 is a loan of $8,000 was paid back in 2 years in monthly installments of $400. The interest on the loan as a percent is what? Right, so this is a different type of a question. It did not say, remember, it did not say simple interest or compound interest. Simply said interest. If you do the simple interest formula, you may get the incorrect answer here. All right. So the obvious way to do it is 2 years you pay $400. Remember, 1 year for the 12 months. 2 years going to be equal to 24 months. $400 for 24 months is 400 times 24. Let's work that out. Will give me $9,600. So what is the original loan? Original loan going to be $8,000. So the interest on the loan is going to be $9,600 over 8,000. All right. So the answer there is going to be what? $100. Questions? Are you all cool with that? No. Do you see that answer here? No. So they said the interest on the loan as a percentage. It is $1,600, sorry, and put it over the original amount, which is $8,000. If you break that down with the no calculator, but if you break that down, you can also break that down easily. You will get 1. Sorry, you will get 1 over 5. 20%. The answer there is going to be D. You all seen that? Any questions here? How do you feel about that? Awesome. Awesome, Aliyah. Let's press on. Let's look at question number 20. An article bought for $125 was sold for $175. The profit as a percent of the cost price was what? Now, if it's sold for $175, the profit is going to be $50. You'll see that? Because 175 take away 125 is $50. And you have this 50% here, hoping somebody will think 50%, right? That's the red herring. Eliminate that. So you're going to put 50 all over 125 by 100 over 1. Well, for one instance, right? How can you figure this out without working it out? Easy. So if you so half of 125 is $75. It's not 75. So it's going to be less than 50%. You'll understand that? Put a 1 in chat if you understand where I'm going with this. And if you don't, yeah, everybody. Hey Ayoma, no worries. So how do I know it was 50%? Half of 125 is $62.5, right? Half of $125 is $60.5. But this is $50, which is less than 62.5. So the percent is going to be less than 50%. Right? So every answer here that's more than 50% is wrong. The percent, yeah, so it's either going to be A or B. Right? That's a big help. So we have the 50 over 125. Also, we don't even need to go ahead and multiply by 100. What we can do is just simply break it down, right? 5 into, we can use 5 into 50 is 10. 5 into 12 is 2 5s are 10. Remainder 2. 5 into 25 is 5. Okay. 5 into 10 is 2. And 5 into 25 is 5. What's 2/5 as a percent? It is 40%. Okay. The elimination helped us, but the N is going to be 40%, which is B. The good thing about elimination, as I said before, it will save you time in many questions. But as well, some questions will definitely have to be mathematics. How do you feel about that? Hey Thais, no worries. Right, so the answer for 9 years is 20% off. I got it from this year. 1/5. So this here was the interest on the loan in terms of money, and I put the interest on the loan over the original amount of the loan, 1,600 over 8,000, and break it down, I get 1/5. 1/5 is the same as saying 20%. That's how I got 20% for part D. Any questions? Are you all cool with this? If you feel about that, hey Papanet, what's up? What's up, Nafisa? Hey Vanessa, what's good? Hey Zamari, what's up? Hey Akel. Right? Any questions here? No questions. No, it's the other way around. It said, awesome. Hey Gavita, what's good? Hey Thais, that the interest of the loan as a percentage. Let's say percentage. They mean a percentage of the original amount, right? That's what's missing here. And remember, we have is over of. Comes after of, should be at the bottom. It's not going to be 800 divided by 1,600. It's going to be 100 divided by 8,000. Tanisha, what's up? We did 50 over 125 because that's the price. So why did we do 50 over 125 here? Because they said profit as a percentage of the core. And remember the is over of. Whatever comes after of is at the bottom. Okay, so these two questions kind of examine the same idea, the same mathematical terminology and mathematical vocabulary exploited. Your understanding of the vocabulary of mathematics, right? Profit percentage as a profit as a percentage of, and the interest of the loan as a percent. But the body of here, the of is understood. as a percentage of what? Percentage of the original amount of the loan. Okay? No worries. So that's the reason there. That's the reason there, Tanisha. 125 was the original amount as the cost price here. They said that get the profit as a percentage of the cost price. So it's going to be 50 over 125. That's going to give me 40%. Awesome. How you feel about that there, Thais? Okay, guys, let's press on. So in this part of the question here, we're going to get into some recurrent themes. When I say recurrent themes, questions that definitely pop up often in multiple choice, right? This is a big one. This question has come a multitude of times, right? People seem not to understand this question. Question says, terms 40 and 49 refer to the following graph of a quadratic. Maximum point of y equals 4x minus x squared is what? What is the maximum point? Maximum point is going to be, well, on the axis of symmetry, and the maximum point is going to be right here. Okay? And what is the coordinates of that point? It's going to be 2 on the x and 4 on the y. Okay? In this case, it's either you know it or you don't. Right? You can definitely eliminate the first one because this is the origin. This here is the coordinates of the origin. Right? That's a famous coordinate you should know by heart. What the origin coordinate, and origin is never, well, not never, but in this case, the origin is not a maximum point. Okay, so the answer in this case is going to be what? It's going to be D, not C. Understand why it's D and not C? Hey, Kavita, no worries. Hey, Thais, you understand? Answer here is going to be D and not C. Hey, Aliyah. So the maximum point, where's the maximum point in this graph? Maximum point is here. That's the maximum point. And how do we find the coordinates of the maximum point? Or how we find the coordinates of any point? What do we do? We go through the door. This thing is going to be through the door. And then up or down. Okay. Understand that? So in this case, what does that mean? If I'm standing here, right? Then go through 2 doors. 1, 2. And the first coordinate is going to be 2. Right away, every other point is wrong. You'll see that? And then we're going to go up the staircase. 2 because of this 2, and then another 2. So the coordinates of this point here is going to be on the x or on the y. Or through the door, 2 doors, and we're going to go 2 steps up. Right? And every step is 2 to the y-axis. 2. So the answer here is going to be 2. You'll see that? That corrects everybody. Put a 1 in the chat. How's it going there? Shakila. What's up there, Sarah? Yeah, are you all cool with this? Awesome there, Terry. Let's continue. Good stuff there, Kavita. So, question number 49. Sorry, not question 49. This is just, 49 in the series of questions. The values of x at the point where y equals 4x minus x squared intersects with intersects with y equals 0 are what? What is y equals 0? That's another name for what? You can tell me. Y equals 0 is the x or the y. the x-axis, right? This is going to be the x-axis. Okay, earlier, it's all good. All right, so the question says, what does the question say? The question says the values of x at the points where y equals 4x minus x squared intersects the x-axis going to be 0. This is one way. That's the x-axis here, and it cuts the x 0 to 4. Let's get the answers to that. Let's get the number, the letter. So the answer is going to be, and D is a red herring because it has -4. Very close. Again, you see how CSEC operates, right? The actual answer is very close to another answer. That's how, if you're not sure, you can actually gauge it. One is exact numbers except that minus sign. What they tend to do, right? That the actual answer and the wrong answer are extremely close. So that's a good thing to remember. If you're unsure, just remember, usually, not every single time, but usually the correct answer is close to another answer. They eliminate all the others as well. Again, it comes down to elimination. Let's continue. So these questions here always pop up from time to time. Item 58 refers to the following diagram, which shows angle of depression of a point X from Z. So the point X at the bottom here. Okay. Question says the angle of depression of the point X from Z is 5 degrees. If X is 12 meters from Y, then the height of YZ is what? So this angle of depression here, first thing to remember is that M, mathematical knowledge, is going to be equal to the angle of elevation, which is 35. Right? And we want to find this height. What is this height here? Height. What is this vertical height here in relation to the angle? This is going to be the what of the triangle. It's going to be the what? It's going to be the opposite. Basina, good job. Which of these don't have an opposite? This doesn't have an opposite. That's cosine. It doesn't have an opposite. And that's another cosine. Okay? So we have the opposite. And we eliminated the cosine. And we also have what part of the triangle? We have the opposite. And we have the what of the triangle. Any chart? Good stuff there, Kaya. Also have the adjacent. So without working this triangle out, these we eliminate because sine doesn't have adjacent. So D is the answer. You'll see that? That's a very good technique to remember, right? Again, instead of doing a long way on working this out, elimination to get to the answer. Some cases, like 2 cases so far that I remember, we have eliminated 3 of the 4. So it led us straight to the answer. But by using rational steps or your reasoning ability, right? Awesome. Let's continue. This question tends to come from time to time. The area of the rectangle in centimeters squared is x squared. Which of the following equations may be used to find the value of x? Okay. So you ask yourself the question, what is the area of a rectangle? Its length by breadth. It's going to be, what is the length? X minus 4. We're using M, right? Mathematical knowledge. X minus 4 is multiplied by 2. And that has to be equal to x squared, because x squared is the area of the rectangle. No worries there, Kelsey. All right, so let's press on. So in this case here, what we have is x minus 4 by 2 is going to be, we can switch it around and say 2 multiplied by x minus 4 is equal to x squared. One shows that immediately A. Again, sometimes when things have a lot of working to do, we'll put the correct answer at the beginning. Right, so watch out for that too. That's also kind of CSEC style. If they have like a lot of working to do or complications, sometimes it usually is at the response. Let's continue. So this is another question that has come many times, right? Obviously, the obviously wrong answer is going to be the, let's read it first. Let me get to the obviously wrong answer, right? Boy stands 12 meters from the foot of the building and observes the angle of elevation of the top of the building, right? The height of the building is approximately what? So let's get it. So we know we have to add, we should add in the height of the boy, right? The height of the building is actually from this point, which includes the height of the boy. You'll see now, can you see this double-headed arrow moving across here? So it's part of it, right? So which answer is immediately wrong? It's good, because we're not adding 1.68. You'll see now. Is that correct to you there? How's it going there, Shalika? How about you, Chanel? Hey, Tanisha, what's up? Hey, Sada, what's good? Tamari, hey, Kay. What's up, Faith? Right, so this is going to be the red herring. All right. So let's go ahead and see what we have. So this 12 meters here is represented here as well. And we will need to find this height here alone, which is be from here to here. Okay. This is the what of the triangle. This is the opposite of the fourth piece. Can you all see that? Are you all cool with that? You want to find the opposite, right? Yeah. Hey, Thais, it's all good. This is the opposite of the triangle. So which question, sorry, which responses has opposite, don't have opposite? It's going to be, right? Cosine does not have opposite. So we eliminate cosine immediately. So either sine or tan. Next, what happens? We know that here is 12. And that is going to be the adjacent of the triangle. Agreed? So we want to find the opposite. And we have the adjacent, which trigonometric ratio has opposite and adjacent in it. It's going to be. So the correct answer is going to be D. You don't understand that? Any questions? Are we cool with that? Hey guys, awesome. All right, let's continue. This question also comes as well. It says here, which of the figures below not drawn to scale has an area equal to 1/2 into 5 plus 4 by 2? Basically, there's 2 here. Cancel with this 2. Give me 5 plus 4. Right? Which one gives me that? This was a big question. This question comes back from time to time. Right? So, and the answer for this question is going to be part D. Let's check it out. 5 plus 4. Here of a trapezium is going to be 5 plus 4 all over 2. And it's going to be multiplying by here, which is this 2. These will cancel. 5 plus 4. Same as what we got 4 this one here. This 2 will cancel with this 2. Plus 4. Good. Awesome, that's Tariq. This question, another easy, well, another sets question. And correct answer here is everything outside P. You can hardly see it here, but this is actually P complement. P complement means everything outside P. Okay, so in this case, A is the correct answer. And again, when there's a lot of working out to add, or when a lot of working out to do, then the answers higher up than lower down, right? From there, earlier, continue. A boy throws a die twice. What is the probability that he will get 3 followed by an even number? So the die is a singular form to dice. Remember that, because some people might say he's throwing 2 things. He's only throwing 1 thing. So this is the plural form. Die is the singular form. Right? So there's only 1 thing he's throwing. We want to know what in the world is die, right? That's the singular form to plural. So what happens here is probability is what is the likelihood of something happening. So he gets a 3. What is the probability of him getting a 3? How many 3s are there? Yeah, now die. Right? This is a die here. It's usually a cuboid with 6 sides, right? So one on one side is going to be a 3. There's only 1 3 out of 6 numbers. So it's 1 over 3 going to be the probability that he gets a 3. Then they said a 3 followed by an even number. How many even numbers are there between 1? There's 2, there's 4, and there's 6, inclusive of 6, by the way, right? 3 even numbers out of how many numbers are there on the die altogether, out of 6. So this is going to give me half. If you have 1 over 3, sorry, the number of die in probability for the 3 is not 1 over 3, it's 1 over 6, right? Slight error there. And the probability for the even numbers is 3 over 6, which is 1 over 2, which is a half. 1 over 6 is for the probability of 3. Then 1 over 2, probability for an even number. Good? Now, how are we going to find out the probability? It's going to be like this. If the 2 events, if you cannot have the 2 events happening at the same time, you multiply. In other words, when you throw the die, is what the mutually exclusive, or is it conditional? In this case, it's going to be 1 over 6 times 1 over 2 is 1 over 12. This is answer is A. So if the events were mutually exclusive, you add the probabilities. But these events are not mutually exclusive. The number, right? So it's going to be a 1 over 6 by 1 over 2. Any questions here? Hey, Tanisha, no worries. So the probability of you getting a 3 is going to be 1 out of 6. All right? And the probability of you getting an even number, because there are 3 even numbers, there are 6 numbers altogether, is going to be 3 over 6, which is a half. So you understand this part here? The probability of getting a 3 is going to be 1 over 6. And the probability of getting an even number, or not 2, the number is going to be 1 over 2. That part clear to you? Yeah, so if you need to get probability of a 3 followed by a even number. These two events are not mutually exclusive, which means to say you can get a 3 and you can get an even number after. It's not mutually exclusive. So when it's not mutually exclusive, you multiply the probabilities. Just remember that ME, mutually exclusive. In other words, if I get a 3, does that stop me from getting one of these numbers if I rule it again? It doesn't. So it's not mutually exclusive. All right? So you have to multiply the probabilities. It's going to be 1 over 6 multiplied by 1 over 2. Good? Is that clear to you? What do you think? Put it in. For example, can I get a 3 and a 4 at the same time coming up at the top of the die? Yes or no? Put it in the chat, anybody? Did I get a 3 and a 4 at the same time coming up at the top of the die when I roll it? No. Those events are mutually exclusive. So in that case, I'm going to have to say, I'll have to add the probabilities. It'll be 1 over 6 plus 1 over 6. Will give me to get those two numbers, right? So the probability, if it's mutually exclusive, you're going to add the probabilities. If it's not, you're going to multiply the probabilities. The answer is A in this case. Or some probabilities come from time to time. And by the way, just a formal definition, probability. The probability of an event is equal to an event E in general, or to the desired outcomes, number of desired outcomes over the total number okay, that's the definition of the probability. All right, let's continue. In this case, we have cumulative frequency, which tends to come a lot. But let's check it out. As here, item 43 refers to the following diagram, which shows the cumulative frequency curve of the heights of 20 plants. So the interquartile range of the set of measurements is what? How we figure that out? Pretty simple. It's going to be the interquartile range. Let's say IQR of the 3/4. 3/4 times n minus a quarter times n, right? IQR is called the interquartile range. What is n? N in this case is the total number of plants, and it's going to be 20. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find 3/4 of 20. That's easy, right? So let's just put it here. So 3/4 of 20 is 15. I will say Q3, 15, and 1/4 of 20, 1, it's going to be 5. All right, so I'm going to use this to help me to find the interquartile range. You ready? Awesome. So what is 15? 15 is going to be here. I'm going to expand the graph, right? 15 is going to be here. The thicker is going to be here. Okay. And it come down here. And 5 is going to be here. Come down here, right? So the interquartile range, students, is not 15 take away 5, right? The interquartile range is this. distance between here and here. IQR. Questions here? The question here is, that I will ask is, what is the value of the Q1? This is Q1 and this is Q. So what's going on here? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and is equal to 2. 2 divided by 5 is going to be 0.4. Each one is 0.4. So see now? Questions there? Each one is going to be 0.4. You're cool with that? So this here is going to be 2.4. In this case here, this is 4. And there's 1, 2, 3. 3 by 0.4. Going to be 1.2. Add this 1.2 to the 4. So I'll get 5.2. You'll see that? You'll understand what I did just on there. Put a 1 in chat if you're following. Put an N if you're not too sure. Hey, Tanisha, yeah, I calculated the scale, right? So I realized that from here to here, is going to be 2. Added so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. And 2 divided by 5 is going to be 0.4. Each block is 0.4. So this is going to be 2 plus 0.4 will give me 2.4. And I have a 4 here, and I have 1, 2, 3 blocks. 3 by 0.4 is 1.2. I have to add it to this 4 to make it 5.2. So now the difference between 2.4 and 5.2 is going to be what? You can tell me, put it in the chat, work it out real quick, everybody, and put in the answer in the chat. Guys, hey everybody, let's just recalibrate. Right about here, at 5, it should have come down and be on right, right? That's in between the 2.4 and the 2.8. So this should have been 2.6. What happened was the size of the line was too thick. It was covering up the fact that the intersection of the Q1, which was here, and the cumulative frequency curve was exactly in between 2 blocks. You all seen that? So the question at Tunisia was, what is the interquartile range, right? So to calculate the interquartile range, what we're going to do is, you're going to get the values at 15. Right? Which was 5.2. Q3. This here is the interquartile range. The difference between 2.6 and 5.2. 5.2 take away 2.6 will give me what? That will give me 2.6. Answer is, as we said before, but then we recalibrate it, it's still going to be B. All right? So if that happens to you in the exam situation, take the most sensible approach and approximate the closest one. But of course, in the exam, it will be printed much better than this copy here. And it probably didn't lead to a proper of the values. In this case, the answer is going to be B. Are you cool with this? Awesome. So the interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1, and onto the cumulative frequency curve, and you calculate it like we just did a second ago. And be mindful of the errors that was made in the process. You will not repeat those errors in the exam. All right, so let's continue. And now we get to academic protocol, which is the final thing that we're going to chat about. How you all feeling? Put it in the chat. Right. So the first thing I want to remind you all of is wherever center you are in the Caribbean or Somalia, you're feeling fine, that's great. Get to the center at least 30 minutes before the scheduled exam, right? Do not, under any circumstances, be late for your exams. You're late, your stress and anxiety level is at its height. And that's something that you don't want. You don't want to be extremely calm that you're sleepy, but you don't want to be too heightened that you can't focus, right? Try your very best to get to the center or the 30 minutes before the scheduled exam. Have all necessary writing materials, candidate numbers, etc. And that's very important because you need to put onto your paper and necessary pencil sheeting. Have a number 2, have an HB pencil or a B pencil, sorry. A 2B pencil is the best pencil for sheeting. If you don't have it, if you have an HB, that should be fine. Just make sure it is dark. Do all questions. Under no circumstances are you to leave out multiple choice. There are no chance for getting a wrong answer. You understand that? It means if you get a wrong answer, they're not going to take away marks. If you don't put an answer, you get 0 for that particular question, which is the same as getting a wrong answer. But if you hazard and guess an answer, you could get a possible point. But under no circumstances should you ever leave a question out, right? That is super important to remember. Not under any circumstances, leave a question out. And finally, most importantly, remember academic honesty. So remember, during the exam, the calculators are not allowed, and it is in your best interest not to have the calculator. So, and what we don't want to be doing is sullying the reputation of CSEC, because you have to sit CSEC and possibly your friends or family in the will have to sit as well, right? So do your best to do what you know to be correct, honest, and do your very best to get as much marks as possible. So when you get your grade, honestly say to yourself, I did my best and I tried my best, and this is a true representation of my ability and not somebody else's. So that's super important as well, right? Point number 4. All right, and with that, let's go ahead and rehash. Before the exam, remember your time. You understand that 1 minute should be for each question. Remember, the content can come from anywhere in the syllabus, and there are many repeats. Remember the tools. Your biggest tool in the exam is going to be your formula list, very important, and your marks. Now, as I said, it used to be 30%, but I'm not sure how CSEC is going to mark the exam. All right, but ordinarily for paper 1, the percentage for paper 1 is 30%. And remember your rights, which means the instructors at the front cover of the paper, right? It's very important to remember this video at an earlier time as well. Also, remember the tech that we spoke about and the examination protocol and the exercises that we did. And don't forget, triangle friend, the triangle into you, right? Get it and use it. And you can go in any direction. Remember, the most salient part of the triangle is going to be the elimination techniques. Super important. All right. Awesome. Any questions? Let me know. All right. Well, that's it. Subscribe to us. We'll see you online. for mathematics. Thanks so much for having me.